step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Before the Horn podcast. As y'all know, I am your host, Dino. As well with me hosting, I got my boy Khalil.
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
Yeah, my boy Day is living his best life on vacation right now. We're going to give him that time. But we still here to get y'all some topics, man. And we got some stuff to talk about. We definitely do. As well, y'all always know we kick it off with our NFL Week 13. Our Week 13 preview as well. We got some news dropping about Aaron Rodgers too that we're going to talk about. But it's heavy college football, man. If y'all seen, the college football rankings came out. We talked about it last episode or the rivalry weeks. Now it's about to be championship week. The rankings came out. We got to talk about that. It's a lot of possibilities this year with how the rankings went, with the losses and everything, what can happen, who's going to make it in. We're going to talk about all that, man. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of different scenarios that we got to talk about with college football. And then to end it off, we're going to give y'all our NBA in-season tournament predictions. Y'all know the knockout round is about to kick off, so we got to talk about that one too. But Lil, you want to kick us off with that first one, bro?
Yes, sir. Let's get it. I mean, we start off the same thing every week. We got to give our NFL Week 13 previews. I think it's a couple big matchups that we got to talk about. First thing first on the slate is the Thursday night game between Seattle Seahawks and Dallas Cowboys. Who you got in that one?
Oh, I'm going to be honest, bro. I'm going with the Cowboys, man. I was just talking to one of my coworkers today, man. He a Dallas fan, and he's like, yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup. I'm going to be honest with you. If you ask me, Seattle hasn't really been playing the best. They've been playing a little lackluster, and as we know, Dallas is kind of hot right now. I'm taking Dallas in this one. I feel like they're going to get it done, especially they playing home. So I feel like they definitely going to get it done.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm going with Dallas as well. I think they get their first win against a team with either a team that's a 500 or better, and the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks been up and down, been down lately, especially with the loss that they had last week to the San Francisco 49ers. And then when you look at this Cowboys team, they're just rolling offensively and defensively. When you talk about Dak Prescott, he's playing some of the best football we've seen him play in his career. He's in the conversation for MVP with the numbers he's been putting up. Talk about CD Lamb. He's one of the
that's a hot one.
I mean, if you look at the better nods, he's up there in his better nods. I think it's him and Jalen Hurts, top two right now. But when you look at CD Lamb, top 5 receiver, then you look at Deron Bland, he just set the record for the most pick sixes in the season. Mm-hmm. This team is just rolling on all numbers right now, and I see it keep going. Especially they have Philly coming up next week, so I think they want to take care of business against Seattle, then look ahead to Philly. Next up on the slate is the struggling New England Patriots facing the LA Chargers, who's been struggling as well. Who you got in this one?
I was just about to say, bro, don't say struggling Patriots without saying struggling Chargers, bro. Both of these teams are struggling. Believe it or not, I feel like this is going to be a closer game than what some people might anticipate. I mean, if you see the Chargers, it's favored at 6 points right now, but I do feel like it's going to be a pretty close one, being that both these teams are very much struggling. I'm going with the Chargers, though. I just feel like the Patriots, bro, they still got a quarterback situation they got to figure out. They obviously got coaching situations they got to figure out. They got injuries on defense. This is just not a good football team this year. I honestly don't really see them winning another game for the rest of the season with the way that their offense has been looking and play calling and everything else. It's just bad for them. They just need to tank it, hope to get some draft capital, and do something in the draft.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm going with the LA Chargers as well. When you look at the Patriots, I don't even know who's going to be starting quarterback on Sunday, if I'm being honest with you. They've been struggling. I mentioned it in the last podcast. You can't keep benching Mac Jones and going back to Mac Jones the next week and expecting it to work. It just doesn't work like that. You're killing his confidence. But when you look at this Chargers team, I mean, they've been up and down. Keenan Allen's been having a great year. He's already over 1,100 yards. He's been balling this year. I think offensively, this is the type of game, offensively and defensively, honestly, this is the type of game you need, just to get it back on track. I still think Brandon Staley should be fired at the end of the season, but a game like this, especially if you go out there and show, be dominant, which I think they could against, this New England Patriots team, who's one of the worst in the league right down there with Carolina and Arizona. I think this is a good matchup for them to get back rolling. So give me the Chargers in this one.
Bro, if they lose this game and Brandon Staley is still there, bro, I swear
Yeah.
to God,
If
that's an issue.
they lose this game and Brandon Staley is still the head coach Monday morning, the, the Chargers is just okay with mediocrity at this
He
point.
would need to be fired in the end zone, like they did Coach Hearn from Arizona State. He need
Oh
to get
yeah,
fired
yeah.
in the end zone
Bro, I'm telling him
at the
find
end
his
of the
own way
game.
back to LA, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all you gotta find your own way back to LA.
Yeah, word.
But on to the next game. We got the red hot Steelers and their new offense going up against Arizona Cardinals. Who do you have in this one?
I'm going with the red hot team, bro. I mean, we just seen it, man. They fired their OC. The OC was terrible, and then they go out and put 400 yards worth of offense up. I really could just see that keep rolling. I feel like the Cardinals are a scrappy team, but I feel like this is just the best team for you to go out and show that new offense right now. This is not too much of a risk factor going against another team like maybe somebody in your division. I feel like this is the best team to go out and be like, yeah, let's try out some new things because that's what you're gonna have to do for the rest of the year, especially if you still plan on fighting for that division, which is still in reach, by the way. So
Yeah.
I'm taking the Steelers, man. I feel like they're gonna keep moving forward.
I'm taking the Steelers as well in this one, but I will say, I think it'd be a little closer game than most people would expect. I kind of
Facts.
like, I kind of like what I've seen from Kyler in Arizona since Kyler's been back. It's not one of the best, but when you're working with what you're working with, like I'm not expecting it to be the best, but Kyler has shown why. There's no reason to move off him after this year. I think he's still.
Oh, I wish Day was on this, bro.
I think
I
he's
wish
still.
Day was on this, man.
For sure, for sure. I think he'll still be the starting quarterback, but I got the Steelers pulling this one out. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL. I think the top three right now, when you watch it in the eye test, is the Steelers, the Browns, and the Ravens. They're right up there. They keep this team in games, even when this offense is struggling. Like sometimes you want, like looking back at their schedule, they're like, oh snap, they're 7-4, given how lackluster their offense has been. But with the new OC in there, they finally fire Matt Canada. I think they get some things rolling and they get a win at home. On to the next game. We got the Tennessee Titans going up against a division rival in the Indianapolis Colts. Who you got?
This is such a terrible game, bro. I'm sorry. This is such a terrible game, bro. I'm sorry to tell y'all viewers, bro, but I might not even watch this damn game. I'm gonna keep it a beam, bro. Like, I don't know, man. These are two bad football teams, bro. Two backup quarterbacks that really aren't really worth anything, if you ask me.
You don't like
Two
Will
really good
Levis?
running backs, though.
You don't like Will Levis?
Bro, I mean, bro, I'm gonna be honest. He's looking the best for them right now, but he's not doing nothing. Like he can't manage a game, mind you. He is a rookie, so I'm gonna say that. But he can't manage a game. It's not like he's about to do anything special for the Titans, at least not this year. But he does look better than Ryan Tannehill. I'll give him that. But I think I'm gonna go with the Titans in this, bro. I think I'm gonna go with the Titans at home. I feel like they're gonna get it done. Will Levis might have a big day. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Indy in this one, honestly. Even though they did lose Jonathan Taylor, I think he's been placed on IR with a hand injury, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But I think they pull it out. Zach Moss has been a very good option while Jonathan Taylor hasn't been there. Gardner Minshew is not horrible. I think the Colts is just a better, more rounded team. When you look at them, I don't think either team is really that good. But when you look at it, if Indy pull this one up, they're 7-5, and they control their fate going into December. I mean, they'd be sitting pretty. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, give me Indy in this one. On to the
Indy?
next game. We got the shocking resurgence of the Houston Texans going against the very, very shocking resurgence in the hot Denver Broncos. Who you got winning this one?
Bro, so here's the thing, bro. This game is going to be a test for the Broncos more than the other games. I'm sorry to say. Yes, they beat Kansas City. Yes, they have big wins. Don't get me wrong. But this game is going to be another test because I'm going to be honest. That Texans offense is looking like one of the best offenses right now. They are flying. They got their playmakers out there making plays. Tank Dell and CJ Straw's connection looks like a connection that they had for years. Like, they running the ball. They have a decent defense, a decent young defense. This is a team that's on the rise. And the Broncos, bro, the Broncos is on fire right now, too. The Broncos been playing. The thing about it is they're gonna have to keep up offensively. That's the thing to me. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna have to probably see Russell Wilson actually throw the ball. Because let's not forget that, bro, they send Will Anderson off that edge, bro, and he has some pressures. He has some pressures. And yeah, the Broncos O-line is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, but this is a pretty good defense too, bro. I'm liking the Texans. I've been saying that all year, man. I'm liking them, bro. They made a real big improvement. I'm going with the Texans in this. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going with the Texans in this. I know the Broncos is hot, but the Texans is hot too, bro. It's gonna be a great game. I'm going with the Texans, man.
Yeah, I think this is one of the more underrated big games of the weekend. When you really look at it, these are two teams that are both 6-5. When you look at it, the winner kind of controls their fate as that playoff push comes along. And the loser, they're going to have an uphill battle being 6-6 after this, looking up at these teams. But looking at it, you got Denver's been hot. They won 5 straight. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna rock with Houston in this one. CJ Stroud and the offense has been electric. Like you mentioned, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. I think, Nico Collins is their number one, even though Tank Dell has been, showing. Nico Collins is the one that leads the team in receiving right now with 800 yards. You still got a Noah Brown who's, come on as of late as well. You got Dalton Schultz. That offense can be electric. And when you look at Denver's
John Mechie, and you ain't even seen him yet.
Yeah, John Mechie hasn't even, got to his potential yet. So hopefully he gets to that soon. And man, we really talk about one of the most explosive offense in the NFL for years to come. You never know. But when you look at that Denver offense, we went back to let Russell manage the game. We're going to run the football. We're going to play defense. But this Houston, Texas team showing what they could score with the best. So you got to be able to put up points. And sometimes you got to put up points fast. I don't know if Russ, or Sean Payton trust Russ enough to put the ball in his hands and tell him to bring us home. I don't know if he's good enough to do it at this point, if I'm just being honest. So give me Houston. I think they get a big win and they control their fate for that playoff push looking ahead. Next on the slate, we got the struggling New Orleans Saints going against a Detroit Lions team that just got smacked, even though they only lost by I think 7 or 8. They got smacked on Thanksgiving. Who you got in this one?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest, man. Saints playing at home. The Saints playing at home, bro. Man, look, this one's a tough one. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna make Lil happy though. I'm going with the Saints. I'm going with the Saints because the Lions, their focal point of their team is their offense, and it's been looking so shaky. And we know how good the Saints defense is. It's still a top 5 defense, and they still punch good offenses in the mouth. That's just how they play their game, bro. They're gonna show you that your offense really ain't as good as you thought it was. If the Lions are struggling like this and they're going against a defense like that, I don't see them surviving this one, man. And the Saints gotta be hungry. They gotta be hungry, man. This is really fate right here. They lose this game and it might be over with for their season. So I'm gonna be honest, man. This is a hungry game, and I'm sorry, the hungrier dogs is gonna eat.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
You scared?
It's not that I'm scared, but you kind of selling me on picking the Saints right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of out on the Saints if I'm being honest. But when you look at what Detroit has been doing, especially these past couple of weeks against Packers and the Bears, Jared Goff has been turning over the football, and this is a very good defense that thrives off turnovers. Don't let them get too many turnovers. You keep that struggling offense in there, and good things may happen. Yes, Chris Olave did have a concussion in the last game, so we got to see if he concurs concussion protocol. Rashid Shaheed, he's dealing with a hamstring injury, so I don't know what's going to be his status come Sunday. You already don't have Michael Thomas, but you do have Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara has been a safety blanket. Him and Taysom Hill, I think what they've been doing as in the run game and the pass game has helped this offense tremendously.
I'm gonna slap your OC if they don't start giving Alvin Kamara the ball more, man.
I'm gonna do it. I said I wasn't gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick the Saints. Hopefully they don't disappoint me again. Hopefully they make my Sunday better than it was last Sunday because I can't keep going through that. I swear I can't. So give me the Saints. Hopefully,
I'm
they
telling you,
show
bro.
why the Lions are overrated, because I told you the Lions are overrated.
I'm still gonna talk my shit if I find out that they beat y'all just because of how much shit you talk about the Lions. I'm still gonna talk my shit. Don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna go for the Saints because I feel like they could actually win this game.
Yeah, especially at being in the Superdome. Detroit is favored by 4, but you never know. Next on the slate, we got the Falcons versus the Jets. And some major news has came out on the Jets. Aaron Rodgers' 21-day window to return has now been activated. So now he has 21 days to be moved from IR to the active roster, and he can now practice. So that's major news that come out as they head into this game against Atlanta, who just came off a big win against New Orleans. Who you got, and what's your thoughts on the Aaron Rodgers situation?
First of all, I'm going with the Falcons. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're hot, honestly, after coming off of a win that they honestly probably shouldn't have won, to be honest. But we know the Jets have been looking like a very lackluster team all year. They benched Zach Wilson, and their starters really not getting it done either. They struggle a lot on offense. Atlanta's favored it for a reason, and I'm taking Atlanta in this one for sure. The Aaron Rodgers situation. Here's the thing. In my eyes, I'ma always go for player health first and player safety. So I am gonna say, yeah, I do definitely 100% feel like he is rushing it back. He should not be coming back, bro. This is a torn Achilles. This is not an ACL, even though those is bad too. This is not a broken leg. He is rushing to come back. This is not an ACL. This is not like no, baby is the injury. This isn't a rolled ankle here. This is a torn Achilles, bro. And you are old, my boy. That joint will pop again as soon as you try to run. You might be able to, make 60-yard throws and all that other stuff when, you're taking like 3 steps and all that. But, bro, this is the NFL game you're talking about. This is actual NFL pass rushers chasing you. You know what I mean? This is stuff that you actually got to do. And you're trying to come back to come help a team that's 4-7 right now, possibly going to be 5-8, possibly could honestly be, who knows? Who knows? They could be 5-10 by the time you come back, bro. It's gonna be 3 weeks till you get back. Like, this is a team. The only thing that I'm gonna say that is going for him with him trying to come back is that his division is not as strong as we thought it was gonna be. That's the biggest thing I could take out of this. I mean, they already have a win against the Bills. So I mean, and Miami just ain't the team that I thought they was gonna be. Yeah, they're gonna get a lot better with their players coming out for injury, but I feel like that's the only team that if Aaron Rodgers comes back and plays for the Jets, that's the only team that's in their way is Miami. So I feel like that, he is kind of making a choice for himself to come back, but I still think he's rushing it, man. I don't think it's that, your body's everything, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take care of this thing. You only get one, so I don't feel like he should really be coming back.
So first on the game, I got the Falcons. I really don't believe in Tim Boyle. Tim Boyle is going to be the starting quarterback. Who exactly? But Falcons. They got a big one against the Saints last week in a divisional matchup. They leaned on Bijan a lot. Drake London got his footing going. He's starting to get more and more involved in the offense. As long as Desmond Ridder could, limit the turnovers, they'd be in very good shape. So give me the Falcons to win at MetLife. But as far as the Aaron Rodgers situation, it's something I've been watching very closely. I kind of listen to Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays too and listen to him talk. He's 11 weeks post surgery. Around 11 weeks is when you should be able to start putting weight on it, start being able to walk in. He's been walking for weeks now. I think he can do a light jog, so like he's slowly ramping it up. I mean, what's going on with his whole recovery process is amazing. But listen to him talking, listen to him how they're attacking it. They're attacking it the right way, but like this would be the earliest return. Like I said, it's 11 weeks. Next week would be 12. So that's about 3 months. The fastest we've ever seen somebody really come back was Cam Akers a couple years ago. He came back in 6 months. So we're talking about cutting that down to 3.5. That's going to be a tough feat, and if he can able to do it, it would be miraculous. But I think it all depends on where the Jets stand. I don't think he end up coming back because I don't think Jets would be in a playoff picture by the time he comes back. But we never know. we've seen these Jets team pull out a couple wins. We didn't think they're gonna pull out the Buffalo win, the Eagles win is two off the top of the head. Just to think about that they pulled out that we didn't think they had a chance in. So I mean, you never know, especially with Aaron Rodgers. But you just never know him. He be on ayahuasca and stuff. He probably tripped out, can't even feel the pain.
Yeah, facts.
Can't even feel the pain.
Yo, he said he played taking perks, so who knows, bro?
Oh
He did
God.
say that.
But yeah, if he's able to come back in any feat, it would be miraculous. I can't. I wish the Jets was going to be in it, but I don't think he comes back just because I think the Jets be out of it either way.
Yeah.
But
That'd
on
be
to
a
the
smart
next
choice.
game, we got the Washington Commanders facing the Miami Dolphins. Who you got?
I think it's easily to take the Miami Dolphins. Their defense is back rolling. They got Jalen Ramsey back. So he's been being a spark. Believe it or not, he's been a very, very great spark since he came back, man. He's been getting turnovers. He's been making tackles, pass breakups. He's looking like the same Jalen Ramsey that we've been knowing. On top of that, that offense is still light and flash. I got some stuff to say about Tua. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Tua is not really the guy I really thought he was gonna be. Like I said, you could look at the stats and say that all day that he's that guy and everything. But watching the game, bro, the times that he's about to throw picks and he missing throws and everything else. When you got that receiving core that you got, and you have the running backs that can catch the ball out the backfield the way they do, you're gonna have those stats. I'm sorry, bro. You just are. Look at Sam Howell. And Sam Howell does have a good receiving core. Don't get me wrong. Like he does have a pretty good supporting cast. Just look at what he does, but look at the picks and stuff that he throws. His actually happen. Tua's don't happen. They drop his for some reason. But this is still a good offense. Don't get me wrong. This is still an electric offense that can score on any play, any down in the game. So I'm still gonna take the Dolphins in this. The Commanders, they're just they're in rebuild mode right now. I'm pretty sure they're about to stick with Sam Howell as their quarterback of the future. I don't know how good that's gonna be for them. Being the fact that he does have already a pretty good offense, he just has a shit head coach and his OC is pretty damn good if you ask me, but he has a shit head coach. But yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins too. When you look at this Commanders team, they lost 4 of their last 5. 3 of them have been divisional matchups. So, NFC is always tough. But, coming off that game that they had last Thanksgiving, it just did not look good. Cowboys went out there and steamrolled them, did a number on them, eating turkey legs, everything else out of bowls. Like, they were just rolling on this team. This team looked like it's just been struggling to find its footing. They are kind of rebuilding. They did trade away 2 of their pass rushers, 2 of their big time pass rushers at the trade deadline. So, they got a couple young guys in there just trying to, see who could play, give people opportunities and stuff like that. And then when you look at this Dolphins team, it's 8-3. They're right in line with that gauntlet that they got in the AFC for a playoff spot right now. They did lose Jalen Phillips to Achilles injury, so that sucks because he's been big time for them on the pass rush. But you still have a Bradley Chubb, you still have a Christian Wilkes. Like you still got some guys on that D line, that back end. Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey, Javon Holland, they've been balling. So give me the Dolphins in this to keep it rolling, keep them right in line to, try to push for that number 1 seed to hopefully get a bye in the first round of the playoffs come playoff time. Next on the dock, we have an NFC matchup. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going against the Carolina Panthers. Who you got in this one?
I'm going with the Bucks in this, bro. Looking at their record now, I feel like they're exactly where we thought they was gonna be before the season started. They had that hot start with Baker Mayfield was looking good, and he's still not looking too bad. Don't get me wrong, he's not looking too bad. He's not looking as bad as honestly I thought he was gonna look. But they're exactly where I thought they was gonna be. They still have their struggles. I'm going with the better team essentially. I'm gonna be honest. They're the better or the worse. The Panthers, we know, man, they're just not a good football team right now. They're gonna pick up hella draft capital, and they already have hella draft capital in general, but they're gonna pick up even more with the bad season that they having. And just to let y'all know, they can still make the playoffs.
Oh wait, who you said picking up draft capital?
Panthers.
They ain't got no draft capital. They ain't got their first.
I know they first pick. I know they first pick supposed to be going to the Bears.
Yeah, they ain't got no first round pick. They ain't got no draft capital.
Bro, they gonna end up having to get some damn draft capital game. They have to, bro. They have to. If you're gonna be the worst team in the league and you're gonna give up that much, you're gonna have to get some draft capital. They're gonna have to trade away some players, get some third round picks, some fourth round picks, hopefully a second round, something. They gotta get something. You know what I mean? So if they really want to rebuild, they gotta get some draft capital. That's the start of it. But yeah, I'm just going with the better team of the worst.
Yeah, give me Tampa in this one as well. Um, Panthers just fired their head coach. They just fired Frank Wright this past week, so he's out of there. This is a team that need to start figuring out what direction they're gonna go in, especially who's gonna be the head coach. David Tepper need to figure a couple things out. He needs to figure out who he wants to build this team and be patient. That's the biggest thing is patience with this team. They're just not there yet. They don't have the tools around Bryce Young for him to be able to succeed. Like when you look at it, Bryce Young's always going to be compared to CJ Stroud. But when you look at what Bryce Young is working with, he doesn't have a Tank Dell. He doesn't have a Nico Collins. He doesn't have
Right.
a Dalton Schultz. So you need to put that
Or
around.
even a coach.
Yeah, put that around him. We need to get him an offensive line. It's a lot going on. And this is a game that, Baker and the boys need just to get back in the win column and get back, in a division conversation. Because right now, they're only one game out, if I'm being honest, from first place, because division's been bad all year. But this is a win that they need. And I think Baker and the boys get it done at home. Next up, we got the game of the week, the game that everybody talking about, the game of what could have been. We got this red hot Eagles going against the red hot 49ers. I think I already know, but who you got in this one?
I'm gonna go with my boys, man. I'm gonna go with my boys. But game of the week is an understatement, bro. This is like game of the year. I'm gonna be honest with you. One of the most controversial games last year on a good team like the 49ers, where they was phenomenal last year, even with their QB issues that they had and having Brock Purdy get hurt against us. And they had a lot to say. They had a lot of talk. And I'm just ready to see how my boys respond to this. Yeah, I'm going with my dogs because they have shown that they're the best team in the NFL, and I feel like they're just gonna keep showing that. But a loss would not be surprising. They playing at the Link. It's gonna be loud. The crowd gonna be rocking. I'm telling you, bro. Game of the year is such an understatement for this game, bro. This is about to be such a great game. I'm really mad it's at 325 and not a 720 game, man. This is a game that all eyes need to be on. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm going with my boys. Like we said, they red hot. Nobody in their moms could stop Jalen Hurts in the second half when he's down. I just wish that the inconsistencies in the start of the game and the turnovers could just stop. Other than that, bro, this team has no reason that they can't beat them at all.
So, it's a couple of things that you mentioned, my takeaway. And I'm going to go with the 49ers, but I'm going to tell you why. We've seen the Eagles start slow these past couple of weeks and come back, yes. But we also see this 49ers team, once they get up, they don't let go. They don't let go of the lead. So we're talking about the Eagles' weakness against the 49ers strength. They lean heavily on that run game, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuels. And I'm not the biggest Brock Purdy guy, but Brock Purdy can protect the lead. And if Philadelphia start the same way they started against Buffalo last week or the Chiefs the week before, I think San Francisco wins. When you really look at the landscape, I think this game is way more personal for San Francisco than the Eagles because, like I said, San Francisco feel like if they had a quarterback, somebody who could actually throw the football in that game, they win that game. That's exactly how they feel. That if you hear Deebo talk, you hear Trip Williams talk, you hear those guys talk, that's exactly how they feel. So I think this is real personal, especially Deebo. I want to see that Deebo Bradbury matchup. I think.
Bro, I was just about to bring that up, bro.
I ain't gonna
I'm sorry. I don't want to see Slay on Deebo at all. I want to see Bradbury on Deebo all game, bro.
All I say,
and not gonna lie, not from Deebo's fault, but I do feel like Bradbury gonna get a pick this game, bro. I just feel like it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna be on Deebo. I think it's gonna be like a bad throw or a tip pass, but I feel like Bradbury gonna make a play, and I also feel like Deebo's definitely gonna score. I'm gonna keep it a beat. I feel like it's gonna be a game from both of them, and they're gonna both be plays to watch, even though how trash you think Bradbury is.
Yeah, Bradbury's trash.
But here's the thing though. I don't disagree with anything you just said, because that's also a fact. Another thing that I gotta point out that's honestly on your side of this is that our run defense has not looked like the run defense we had for the first half of the season. I'm gonna be honest. Ever since the Chiefs got it done and they came in there and started punching us in the mouth on the ground,
I would even say
bro.
before that, Dallas too had a good game on the ground, good game all around on y'all, honestly.
I mean, yeah, bro. Like our run defense was the best part of our team the whole year, and these last couple weeks they've been looking a little lackluster. If we can't fix that against the 49ers, we may go down for a fact.
Yeah,
But I'm taking my guys.
I just don't think you can start off slow. I think the link will be rocking, so that hopefully gets y'all going. But I don't think y'all be able to start off slow. If I'm y'all, I think y'all need to start out with the ball, go down there and score, because we've seen 49ers start out with the ball, score, and just never let go of the lead. So I mean, I think this is going to be a great game, a highly entertaining game. This is going to come down to the trenches, and who can protect the lead. Like I said, who can deliver that first punch. I think both these teams are very good once they get the lead. It's just all about who can get the lead and keep it at this point. But I can't wait to see that matchup. That is definitely going to be the game of the week.
Wait, one more thing. Shout out Jair Brown, man. He making his trip back to the East Coast. No cap. I'm pretty sure damn near half the Trenton finna be at that game.
Yes, sir.
No
I
lie.
know they about to show out. I know they about
shout
to
out
show out.
Jair Brown, Tig, bro. You know he from Trenton. That's right around the corner from Philly. He gonna be in there, and he's starting his second game. So I hope he actually does something against us. I'm gonna keep it a beat.
Yeah,
If he get a pick, I'm gonna be hyped. If he get a pick, I'm not even gonna care. I hope we winning when he get a pick. But if he get a pick, I'm gonna be hyped.
Yes, sir. Next up on the slate, we got an interesting matchup with the Los Angeles Rams going up against the Cleveland Browns, who has a red hot defense. Who you got in this one?
This is interesting. It's very interesting after seeing what Denver did to them last week. It's tough. It's really tough. It is really tough. This one was a really tough one for me because we know that the Rams can move the ball, and they move the ball against anybody. And we've seen it happen. Even with Matthew Stafford's shitty picks, we've seen them move the ball. The thing about it is, can Cleveland move the ball? That's the problem that I'm having with this game. Cleveland has they have a phenomenal defense, and we know that. But the thing about it is, they can't move the football at all on offense. DTR is not the answer. Y'all got that win and thought he was the answer. He's not. He's not the answer. He's not even more of an answer than Deshaun Watson.
I mean, who you gonna
He's
go
really
to?
not.
Flacco's the backup.
Yeah, and they just signed Flacco, didn't they? Yeah, they just signed Flacco. What you gonna do? Put him in?
Well, so DTR is in concussion protocol, so we're gonna see if he even clears concussion protocol.
He is in concussion protocol, so we don't even know if he's gonna play. I'm sorry, I'm going with the Rams at home, man. This Cleveland team, they looking like they're running out of gas, and their offense is struggling bad, bro. So until they can fix stuff on offense, I'm sorry, defense might might win you some games, but this ain't the old days, bro. It's not gonna win you championships. I'm sorry to say. So late season defenses end up folding. I'm gonna be honest. If that's the only part of your team, that's what ends up happening. Lil, you know that.
Yeah, I do. This is an interesting matchup, and I think looking at this Rams team, getting Kyren Williams back in the fold has been this past game was a godsend. Kyren Williams' first game back over 200 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns, and I think that helps Matt Stafford out a lot because he's not asked to do so much. When they can run the ball, it helps Matt Stafford limit the turnovers. And I think the offense is a lot more effective. They did put up 37 points last week against the Cardinals, so take it as it may be. But I think the balance of the offense with having a Kyren Williams back creates a lot of matchup advantages against this Cleveland Browns team. And then when you look at this Browns team, we mentioned the quarterback situation. Myles Garrett may be out. We don't know what's the status of his injury right now. So we got to keep a close eye on that. Hopefully he plays. When Myles Garrett plays, it's always electric. So we love to see great players on the field. Hate them when they're not. So, but I'm going on with the Rams as well to get it done at home, to get to 6-6, and have a conversation for the playoffs as well. So give me the Rams in this one. On to the Sunday night game. You got the Kansas City Chiefs traveling to Green Bay to play Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. Who you got in this one?
I'm going Kansas City. Let me be honest with you. I don't bet against Mahomes. I'm sorry to tell you that, but y'all knew that. Yeah, I wasn't on the episode when we covered Mahomes playing the Eagles, so I can't talk about that one. But I haven't bet on Mahomes all year, and I ain't doing it now. Especially not against Green Bay. I mean, they played at home. We know them cheeseheads. They be having a rock in there. It's gonna be super cold. But Kansas City's Kansas City, bro. They're gonna come out and play. They have some bad losses, some tough losses, yeah, but they're gonna come out and play. And Green Bay, man, Green Bay got a lot of holes in their team that they gotta fix. They gotta fix. And if we seen Kansas City's DBs have been playing, Jordan Love gonna have to throw the ball. I don't see it looking too good for Green Bay, man. I'm going with Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm going with Kansas City as well. I think it'd be a competitive game when you look at Jordan Love. Jordan Love is starting to look like a legit NFL quarterback. He looks like he can be a quarterback in this game for a while. When you look at some of the throws that he makes NFL caliber throws. Yes, he still does make some mistakes because he hasn't played much. Even though this is his fourth season, he's still very young just because of the amount of games he's played. But give me the Chiefs in this one. You just don't bet against the Chiefs too much, and I'm not going to do it in this one, especially bright light Sunday night football. Mahomes seems to show up and make spectacular plays when spectacular plays need to be made. Last week they got it rolling a little bit. Pacheco had 2 tutties. You had Rashee Rice come out having over 100 yards. Then Travis Kelce looked like Travis Kelce that we know we're used to seeing, and I think that's the major thing. If Travis Kelce comes out and beat Travis Kelce, it sets up everybody else on offense. It helps.
That's a fact.
Right. It helped Rashee Rice get his. It helps Sky Moore get his, and everybody else. So give me the Chiefs in this one. I think they pull it out on Sunday Night Football. I mean, I'm like I said, we don't bet against Mahomes too much. He's the Brady of this new generation. We ain't bet against Brady too much when he was playing. Can't really bet against Mahomes too much.
Not at all, bro.
Always got a chance to win. Moving on, and what could have been one of the bigger matchups of the year, sadly, is not the Monday Night Football game against the 8-3 Jags going up against the 5-6 Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, man. It would have been. What could have been, what would have been. And it really would have been. No lie. That would have been a hell of a matchup with Burrow, man. That would have been such a good game. But I'm going with Jacksonville. Bengals is cannon, man. They don't really have anything they could do. Don't get me wrong. Their quarterback doesn't look the worst when it comes to backup. He don't really look too bad. But he's not getting y'all wins. He's not the recipe for wins. Y'all been struggling all year. Until around a couple weeks before, Burrow got hurt. So I could just see them struggling again, man. It's not really gonna go down. I'm taking Jacksonville in this.
Yeah, this could have been one of the bigger matchups of the year when you talk about Burrow versus Lawrence, 2 young quarterbacks, 2 of the best quarterbacks in the game. What could have been. But I'm going with the Jags in this one. Jags finds ways to win games. They're 8-3. A lot of people are surprised that they're 8-3, but when you look at what they've been doing to teams, it's not like they're blowing teams out. They just find ways to win games, and that's what the good teams do. And you look at this Bengal team; they have lost 3 straight now. I don't see that stopping. They get their 4th L. I wish this could have been the matchup we all wanted to be, but sadly we couldn't because of injuries. So give me the Jags. I really don't have too much to say about the Jags. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for our Week 13 picks of the NFL season. Let me know who y'all got, who y'all think gonna win, who y'all think gonna lose. Let me know if y'all think there's gonna be any upsets, who y'all think got a chance to upset a few teams. But transition into college football because we got a lot of college football to talk about, especially big week coming up, big matchups coming up this week. But first, we got to give our reactions to the top 25, CFP top 25, one of their last drops, one before the one that really matters. And, some of the notable things that come out of there. So we just want to get your thoughts on it, what you think, who you think too high, who you think may be too low.
Let's see. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like damn near everybody is put in the right position. If you ask me, a couple questions I got, to be honest, is I think Florida State's always gonna be a question. We talked about that last cast. That Florida State's probably one of my biggest questions. Um, Ohio State, I think Ohio State being 6 was definitely a right placing. I heard some people say that they should have been 5, but I think Oregon should have been top 5 or top 4. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't putting Florida State at 4 because I really don't think they should make the playoffs. I mean, we just talked about this. It's a tough decision not to. I feel like it's really a shot at more like, not saying the coach and the player. Yeah, it really is. It's more of a shot at the players, bro. If they don't make it, because it's like, yeah, this one player got hurt, and y'all just think they're gonna be that much of a trash team, which essentially they are when you talk about the top 4 teams in the nation. So that's one that I really don't. I really feel like I just don't know about them, bro. That one's tough. Y'all got my take, man. I've been saying it. We're gonna talk about scenarios, but I've been saying it before. I'm gonna wait till we get to scenarios. Thing about Texas, man, I just don't feel like they've been dominating enough. They had that win against Bama, yes, but they haven't dominated damn near anybody since then. And that's just the truth. They have like 2 dominant wins, and you're a top 10 team. You took off Bama. And Bama's been rolling, and Bama's at 8. One thing history showed is that not once has a team that hasn't been 5 or 6 make it in. Any team that's been over 5 or 6 at 7 and 8 has never made it in. So I think that's something that might be changing this year. I'm gonna be honest with you. It might actually change this year depending on what happens. If Alabama was to shock Georgia, we don't know, man. But we're gonna talk about our scenarios in a second.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too much into depth about the scenarios and how I see things gonna play off. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But I think rankings are right where they should be. Georgia, Michigan, top 1 and 2. They've been the most dominant teams all year. Washington's right up there. They're undefeated. Got to throw Florida State in there because they're undefeated as well, even though they lost Jordan Travis. But I mean, I'm gonna dive deeper into what I think about all that controversy with Florida State. Oregon, Ohio State, you could argue either way. Oregon's been very dominant against some good teams as of late. So I understand why they will put them up there, especially, they're in a conference championship. Sucks Ohio State can't, but, it's either Ohio State, Michigan can't have both. To maybe to next year, conference realignment, everything changes. But for this year, 7, Texas, 8, Bama, which is rightfully so because Texas went to Bama and beat Bama in Bama. So you got to respect the head-to-head matchups at the end of the day. But I don't really want to focus too much on the top 8 because I don't think that matters as much as more who is on the back end. Reason being, right? So Michigan, right, as of right now, has a top 10 win. Why? Penn State's at 10, right? Who else? Ohio State also a top 10 win because they beat Penn State, right? But then when you look at, Oregon, who demolished ranked Oregon State, who was at 20, but Oregon State just lost to 2 of the top 5 teams in the nation when you look at who they just lost to, right? So, but it makes that win that's Oregon best win, quote unquote, based on the standing. So it doesn't make it look as good being that they're 8-4, right? And then you look at a Tennessee team who's kind of been struggling. I don't think is that good. I don't even think they should be ranked, honestly. But it makes Georgia looks better now. That makes Georgia resume looks better. So I think that's major as well. Clemson, another team I don't think it should be ranked, but that makes Florida State look better now. That makes their resume look a little better now, top 25. So I think that's some major keys. Ole Miss at 11 makes Bama resume look better now. So it's like I think those are the things that really matter when we're looking at, where these teams are placed, but resume wise, how you build your resume. There's kind of some biasness because, like I said, I got some grades. I don't think some of them teams should even be in the top 25, just the way they've been looking and playing and how they've been losing some games. But it just makes a lot of things look better. Kansas State, top 25 team. Texas has 2 of those now. So I think
I'm gonna keep it a bean though, bro.
Not Texas. Yeah, Texas.
It's one that I feel like isn't talked about. And this is another team that I brought up, bro, that wasn't talked about all year. And that's Arizona at 19. I think they need to be
Yeah,
higher,
15.
bro.
Yeah, 15.
15. I said 19, 15. They need to be higher. I'm sorry, bro. This is a top 10 team in my eyes. If you look at some of their wins, dominant. Some of their wins was dominant, especially over ranked teams. I mean, yes, Utah's at 22 now. They beat the dog shit out of Utah, bro. Smoked Utah. I mean, UCLA, they beat double digits. Washington State. Do you really want to see the score on that game? Like, bro, this is a team that lost to an SEC team in Mississippi State in overtime. They lost to Washington by 7 points. And they lost to USC in overtime by 2. I mean, this is a good team. This is a good team that, yeah, it's at 15 and they're starting to get some recognition. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If you look at the teams on their schedule that's standing right now, that's still ranked. I mean, USC's not ranked no more, but they played USC when USC was 9 and
I
lost in
think
triple overtime.
you know what's crazy, and that's another thing that is very underrated because what we talked about all year, Pac-12 looks like one of the best conferences. Top Pac-12 looks like one of the best conferences. They had like 8 teams ranked at a point. But what happens is those teams have to play each other. So what they do, they cannibalize each other. So now those records that they
Literally.
had doesn't look so good. So now it looks the resumes look worse. But when you really look at it, SC was still one of the best offenses in the nation this year. Trash
Literally,
defense,
bro.
but they had one of the best offenses in the nation this year. So
Exactly.
that's the gripes with some of like the strength of schedule because where were these teams at? Utah, another very legit team, back-to-back Pac-12 championship team, won a lot of games, but they're not in the top 25. So it doesn't make Washington and Oregon strength of schedule look better. And I think that's really what is really notable about this. It's really not the top 8. The top 8 is the top 8. Everybody knows who the top 8 is. It's who's on the back end to help push up. Mizzou's ranked 9. It helps.
Bama beat them.
Yes,
Georgia beat them.
it helps boost them up. So I think that's really, the major takeaways when you really look at it. It's not the top 8 because we know who the top 8 is, but who's going to boost up those top 8 when it's time to argue, oh, this team beat this team beat that team, where are they ranked at this point? And that's not really going to change much because most of their teams, a lot of these teams season is over.
I just never really liked that way, bro. I never liked the way that they rank them at the end of the year and be like, yeah, this is where they're standing at now. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, injuries are a thing, and like I say it all the time, it's not about how you play them, it's about when you play them. I'm gonna be honest with you, and that's a thing at all levels of sports, bro. And I say that all the time, and I just don't like that, bro. Because looking at Arizona's record, bro, they had 5 straight ranked opponents. Well, 4, because Colorado wasn't ranked when they played them. Oh. Nah, 5. Yeah, 5, because UCLA was ranked. Yeah. Yeah, 5 straight ranked opponents. And they beat 3 of them. They went 3-2.
Are you talking about Arizona?
Huh?
Talking about Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
I'm saying, like, when you look at that type of resume, if you was to look at it about when they played the team, what was that team when they played them? For instance, they played Washington State. Washington State was ranked 19th at the time. You know what I mean? And it's the same team that we just talked about last week that lost 6 of their last 7. But they was ranked 19th at the time. They played UCLA when UCLA was ranked. They played Oregon State when Oregon State was 11.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's
beat Oregon State.
Oregon State is a very good football team.
I don't understand sometimes, bro. Sometimes I really don't be understanding how this rankings work because it's like, again, you go by the team that they played at that moment.
Yeah, and we gotta move on to the next topic, but I do want to say this as well. We don't really have no metric system to rank these teams. When we look at it, we have 13 people making these decisions on where these teams should be ranked, as opposed to the BCS. They had metrics to go off of. Why this team is ranked here, why this team is ranked there. The issue with
point spreads and all that.
Yeah, the issue with the BCS was there wasn't enough teams. You got 2 teams and that was it. So we go to committee, you let humans pick. But there need to be some more metrics and transparency in it. But let's transition into the 5 big matchups of the week that's really going to decide the playoff picture, conference championship week. And first game is Friday night. You got number 5 Oregon going up against number 3 Washington in a rematch of a game earlier this year that came down to the wire. who you got in this one, given that Oregon is 9.5-point favorites, even though they lost earlier this season?
I definitely don't think they deserve that 9.5-point favorites, but I'm going with Oregon in this. They've been rolling, bro. They've been rolling ever since that loss. It was like they just put another chip on their shoulder to come out and do something big. Washington, again, maybe they had some close wins, but like I said, bro, they've been playing against some teams that aren't bad. Yes, maybe they might, like you said, bro, they cannibalize each other. They got losses within each other because this was such a great conference, but Washington is still a top team in the nation for a reason. I do still feel like these are both two top 4 teams in my eyes. And I feel like Oregon's going to take them down. And I feel like my prediction is probably going to come true, man. I'm going to be honest, especially if it's a close win. If it's a close win and Oregon wins by a field goal or something, we can very much look at seeing 2 Pac-12 teams in the playoffs.
I don't know. We're going to see. But I got Oregon in this Pac-12 championship as well. It's the last Pac-12 championship as well. RIP to the Pac-12. They gave us some great memories over the year. I'm kind of going to miss the Pac-12. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I am for sure.
Pac-12 after dark was lit, even though, it was 1 a.m., 2 a.m. on the East Coast. But it is what it is. But I got Oregon in this one. They just been looking very, very dominant ever since that Washington loss. That's a game that should have won. They could have won. They had the opportunity to win. A couple plays go different ways. And we talking about, undefeated Oregon and 1-loss Washington. Washington has been struggling of late. They've been playing some very close games against some very decent opponents that I think they should have, beat a little bit more handily, but they keeping teams around. I don't think you could do that with this team, especially when you look at Bo Nix, who's been playing amazing in the Heisman race. He's actually favored to win the Heisman, slightly ahead of Jaden Daniels. But I think this game decides the Heisman too as well. Bo Nix come out there and do what they do with Taz Johnson, Troy Franklin, Berkey Oren and boys. They get that offense rolling, bro. I don't think Washington is going to stop them. I think, it was in Washington, and sometimes that factor in this being a neutral site game in Vegas. I'm giving that edge to Oregon, and 9.5 points is a lot of points for a team that lost to a team early in the year. I think the odds makers are trying to tell us something, So give me Oregon to get the win in that matchup. Moving on to the Saturday slate of games, 12 o'clock.
And that game on Friday?
Yeah, that game's on Friday.
I can actually catch that one because I work Saturday.
Moving on to the Saturday slate of games, the first game of the day, Texas, number 7, going against number 18, Oklahoma State. Who we got? Who you like?
I know this is championship weekend, baby. Come on. I'm going with the upset, man. Give me Oklahoma State, man. Stop playing, bro. I'm going with the upset, man. They beat my boys at Oklahoma, who I had going to try to make the playoffs. But I'm going with Oklahoma State, man. Like I said, bro, they rolling. They rolling. This is a good football team. Like I said, they took down Oklahoma for a reason. No, they don't got no berth in the playoffs. They have nothing. I mean, they're looking at a New York 6 at best. It may not even be that. I'm going to be honest with you. Well, they playing in the championship game, so most likely they're going to get a New York 6, especially if they win. But I'm going with Oklahoma State, man. Like I just said, Texas has not been rolling. I'm sorry. They haven't. They've been winning, but they're not rolling. I'm going to keep it a beat. This hasn't been a dominant team to me. Yes, they beat Alabama, but we talked about it last cast, man. This is probably the worst Alabama team we've seen in years, bro, in years. I mean, I think this is the worst Alabama team we've probably seen since they lost to Oklahoma in the Egg Bowl, like years ago, bro, back when they had Sterling Shepard. But this Texas team, they've been having too much close games. Yes, they beat the dog shit out of Kansas, but other than that, bro, like they went to overtime with Kansas State, who's actually a pretty decent football team. They got into a close game with TCU. Like, come on, I don't think they should have beat the shit out of Iowa State. They got into a close game with them. Yes, they did beat the shit out of they have a couple dominant wins, but they had dominant wins over teams that really wasn't worth nothing. BYU's not worth nothing, bro. Texas Tech is not worth nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you. So, I mean, I'm going with Oklahoma State, bro. I really want to see this upset. I really feel like this is gonna be a big upset for them.
I hear everything you said. but I gotta go
I
with
know
Texas.
who you going for already, bro.
I
It's
gotta go
I.
with Texas. I gotta go with Texas. When
I
you look
know.
at it, they're 15.5 point favorites, rightfully so. I don't think this Oklahoma State team has the firepower to go toe to toe with a Quinn Ewers Texas team. When you got Xavier Worthy and them dogs that they got in the receiving core, they don't have Jonathan Brooks, which is going to be a major loss. But I think they still can, move the football, get up and down the field, moving the football. And this Oklahoma State team, I've really only seen them win one way, and that's running the football and then leaning on Ollie Gordon. And I don't think you can do that in this type of game. I think, being in Dallas, I think the crowd's going to be rocking. It's going to be a big game. I got Texas pulling this one out. I think Texas win this one going away. I think they actually cover the spread. I'm not going to lie. Moving on to the next game, probably the biggest game of championship weekend. In a lot of people's opinion, it could cause a lot of controversy as well, depending on the winner. You got the 12-0 number one Georgia Bulldogs going against the 11-1 number 8 Alabama Crimson Tide. Who you got in this one in Atlanta getting a dub?
This is like the biggest controversial game right now because, Georgia. People saying Georgia hasn't looked the best. They've been looking a lot better ever since Brock Bowers came back. They've been actually dominating. They for some reason their defense lets up their first score. For some reason, it hasn't been like that the last couple of years, but they have always been doing that this year, and then they're on fire after that. It's tough. This one was tough because I like the progress Alabama's been making. And like I said last cast, I give it all to the coaching, bro, because this roster is really not as good as it was in previous years, but they're still in position to actually make the playoffs. I'm going with Georgia in this, man. As much as I want to go with Bama because I want to see this upset, and don't get me wrong, I really, really want to see this upset because that gives Ohio State a chance of making it in. But I really just think Georgia's a complete team now. They got their injuries together. They coming back. Carson Beck is throwing for flying numbers. This is just an all-around team, man. They're looking like teams in the past now. I'm going with Georgia. I really think they're gonna win it out.
This is one I've been going back and forth all week. I said I wasn't gonna make my decision to the time I had to make my decision, so now it's time to make my decision. I'm going with Georgia. Even though I would like to see Bama win, because I don't like we're gonna talk about it, scenarios that may come up, and this Bama winning causes a lot of chaos for the playoff picture. So I think for the committee, it's best if Georgia win this game because it makes their decision a lot easier on who they got to put in. But Georgia has been playing better football as well. When we talk about, this Georgia team, a lot of people said they didn't look like, what they looked like in the past, and they really haven't. And, early in the season, they didn't really play nobody. Then you was like, they got this gauntlet coming up. Let's see what happens when they play Mizzou, Tennessee, and these teams like that. And they went out there and they took care of business. They didn't have the best game, as dominant as game as this you want to see from a Georgia team against Georgia Tech, but it is what it is. Bama struggled against Auburn. Bama honestly should be 10-2 if Auburn doesn't allow a 4th and 31 touchdown, which was crazy. Then we could be having a whole nother discussion. But give me Georgia in this one. I think they're just a better football team, more well-rounded football team, and Carson Beck and them boys figure out a way to get it done in Atlanta. Moving on to the largest favorite of the weekend, championship weekend. We got the number 2 Michigan Wolverines at 12-0 facing number 16 Iowa Hawkeyes at 10-2. Michigan is 21.5 point favorites in this game. Who do you got?
Iowa has no shot. Iowa has not one shot. I'm sorry, bro. I don't even think they're gonna stick with Michigan in this game. I mean, I'm keeping the buses running. You feel me? After that first kickoff, I'm gonna keep it a beat. I'm keeping the buses running. I might run on that joint in halftime. Now let me stop playing, man. This is also a team that made it to their championship game in their conference. At least, I mean, we know the Big Ten West is terrible, so rightfully so, they should have made it. But we just seen Michigan go out and take down Ohio State. Michigan is rightfully so the number 2 team in the nation. As long as Georgia sits there at number 1, this is rightfully so the number 2 team in the nation, and they're just gonna play like it. I really don't feel like Iowa has a shot at all. I don't even got to talk about stats or what Iowa did or what Michigan did. We seen it. We know what happened. Iowa doesn't have a shot.
I mean, if you watch this podcast, you know how I feel about the Big Ten West. This is the last year of divisions in Big Ten. Probably the last year we see Iowa in the Big Ten championship in a long time, looking at the way what they got going on right now. So I don't really see them getting back to the Big Ten championship, given the new format that the Big Ten will be under. But I got Michigan in this one by far. You know, there's a reason why they're the biggest favorite of championship weekend. There's a reason why they're the number 2 team in the nation, given what they just they just beat Ohio State. You know, this has looked like the best team, arguably the best team in the nation. It's either them, Georgia or Michigan. Take your pick on who you like more, honestly. But I think Michigan goes out there in Indianapolis, take care of business. You know, wipe their hands, be done. First half, third quarter, they're running the football. They can't wait till Sunday to see who they got to play on New Year's Day. That's it. So give me Michigan in this one. And for our last championship game that we need to talk about that can have some serious implications on playoffs as well is the ACC championship. Number 4, Florida State going up against number 14, Louisville and North Carolina. Who you got? What you thinking?
I don't think this is gonna happen, but for Florida State to stay Florida, to stay number 4. They gotta mop the floor with Louisville. If this is a close game, it's looking bad for Florida State. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am taking Florida State. I just don't think Louisville could do it, even with the quarterback issues. Louisville, you know, they showed where their holes was last week, and Kentucky exposed them. I'm gonna be honest. So again, it's still a pretty good football team if you ask me. I don't think they're bad. I think they're gonna fight in this game, and they're gonna give Florida State a run for their money. But Florida State needs to win by double digits. I'm gonna just say that they need to win by double digits.
Yeah. Florida State is favored in this game by 2.5, so it's a pretty close line. It's a field goal game. Who can score when it really matters? Louisville has looked pretty good. Besides, you know, they just lost to Kentucky last week. It is an in-state rivalry games. You know how rivalry games get. We've seen crazy stuff happen in rivalry games, so you never know. I'm going with Florida State. As much as
Smart choice.
As much as I kind of don't want to see Florida State wins, I think Florida State wins this one in a close game. I don't think they have a dominant win though. So like you mentioned, you know, that can cause some controversy, whatever the case may be. But yeah, scratch that. Give me Louisville. I'm taking Louisville.
Word? You gonna switch?
I'm going for Louisville. Yeah, I had to switch it up. Man. I had to switch it up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping Jake Plummer and Jamari Thrash, you know, have a big day. You know, good connection. Then you got the running back Jawar Jordan, who's a very good runner. He had over 1,000 yards this year, 13 touchdowns, whatever the case may be, on the ground. The more I think about it, I just don't know about the quarterback, man. I don't know about Luke Rodemaker. I don't know if he's the guy to get him over. Trey Benson had a very good game last game. 3 touchdowns will help him win the game, but that Florida team wasn't that good. But the Kentucky team wasn't good either. So like, I don't know, but give me Louisville for the win. Hopefully Louisville pull it out. No hate on Florida State, but I just don't want them in the playoffs. I don't think they're one of the 4 best teams. But if they win, the committee might put them in just because they're undefeated Power 5 team. So I don't know. We'll see. But given the predictions that we just gave, who you got in? Who's in? Who's out? Who's in?
All right, so I'm gonna start off with Washington and Oregon. I picked Oregon to win. I got Oregon making it. Depending on how bad or good the win was, if it's a close one, You know I got Oregon and Washington making it. If Oregon wins by double digits, Oregon's the only one to make it out of those two. It just shows. If you ask me, Washington beat them by single digits the first time by a field goal in overtime. If Oregon goes out there and doesn't even give them a shot to win in one score, it shows who's the number 4 team in the nation, at least. Got Oregon in. Oklahoma State versus Texas. I got Oklahoma State winning that. Texas is out of the conversation. Georgia versus Alabama. I got Georgia winning that. Alabama's out of the conversation. Georgia's in at number 1, no matter how they win. I got Michigan tearing the floor up with Iowa. Michigan's in. Now, here's where it gets tough, okay? Because I said if Florida State wins by double digits, I got Florida State to win. Let's say Florida State wins by 1 in a field goal. Florida State's not in. Florida State's not in. I feel like that gives the bid back to Washington. Washington makes it in, and that's your Final Four.
So you got Georgia,
Michigan,
and Michigan
Washington
versus
Oregon
at the Rose Bowl.
The thing about it, though, I feel like Washington has to have a convincing loss. You know what I'm saying? They have to have a loss that maybe they lose by 10 for Oregon to make it in, but no more than 10.
I'm gonna have to push back on you just because of the simple fact Washington has not looked that good as of late. And if they go out and lose that one, it's kind of hard.
They still got one loss though.
Yeah. All right, let me give you my top 4. Then we're gonna run through some scenarios. We're gonna have some what if this happened, this may happen. So I got Georgia and Michigan winning. Top 2 teams, they're in automatically. Then I got Oregon in at number 3. I think they play Washington. I think they play Michigan at the Rose Bowl.
I think they jump past 4.
Huh? I think let me get to 4 because I think the 4 is the biggest one when you look at it, right? So I got Georgia and Michigan in automatically. That means they won. That means Bama is out. They're out. I got Texas winning, so Texas has an argument now. I got Louisville winning, so I think that takes Florida State out the mix. So now we're looking at a Texas team that just won their championship, and then you have Ohio State as well with the resume that they have. I think they put Texas in. I think Texas gets in at number 4. I think Texas is number 4. So my playoffs would be Georgia versus Texas at the Sugar Bowl, and then Oregon versus Michigan at the Rose Bowl. That's my matchup. So
I like that, but only thing I got to say about that is I just feel like this week the way you play matters more than anything.
I think
the
eye test does matter. I think the eye test will matter.
I feel like the way you play this week is gonna matter more than anything. Because let's say Texas gets a close win in overtime. I'm not putting Texas in with that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not putting Texas in with that. Like Ohio State beat 2 top-ranked teams. And mind you, I didn't even bring up Ohio State on making it in. Because I still don't feel like they're a top 4 team. But if you talk about losses and you talk about the way people play, yeah, Ohio State doesn't have a game to actually show anything. But they didn't look too bad against Michigan.
I mean, they got that win over Notre Dame at Notre Dame in South Bend. I think that was major.
And Penn State at Penn State.
Penn State too. So those are 2 top 25 wins on the road that helps them boost. But let's run through a couple scenarios real quick, right? Let's say all the favorites win, right? Everybody that's favorite. So that's Georgia winning, that's Texas winning, that's Michigan winning, that's Florida State winning, that's Oregon winning. Who you got in? If that's the case scenario, and all the favorites win, everybody went out. Who you got?
So if everybody wins out, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough because, like I said, it still comes down to score. Because if everybody wins out, let's say, all right, so Oregon take care of the business, but they only win by 3. I got Oregon and Washington still in there. I'm just the way I see it is these are two teams.
Undefeated Florida State.
Again, it's the way they win. It's the way they win. Oregon and Washington is 2 teams on this whole list that we're talking about that played a literal gauntlet all season.
We say that, but I don't know if the committee feels that way though. Because the committee,
how can't they? I just don't see how can't they though.
Because it's very SEC bias. It's always been SEC bias. I feel like I think Pac-12 never really got the love like it deserved, but for sure.
I mean, the Pac-12 got the love it deserved back in the BCS era, and it was a Pac-12 team was the first team to make it in the college football playoffs. But again, bro, I feel like you can't deny neither one of these teams' resume, win or loss. I mean, Oregon's the only one that if they lose, they don't make it. But I'm gonna be honest, if Oregon wins, like if they win small, if they lose small again, I honestly don't think they should drop from 5.
No, they have
like, bro, this is 2 great football teams. I can't leave either one of them out.
Well, my top 4 would be favorites win. Georgia, Michigan, automatically in. They win, you're in. Oregon, Washington, I think the winner that gets in, Oregon's favorite. So Oregon wins, they're in. I think they get in at number 4 because I think if Florida State goes out there and win, they get in as well. I don't think, the committee would leave a undefeated Power 5 team out. And I get it because this is the question as well. I don't know what the metrics really are for the college football playoffs because when you look at it, they always say the 4 best teams. If we're talking about the 4 best teams, Florida State is not one of the 4 best teams.
Exactly. Right.
But they are most deserving. And are we going to be – they say the committee is based off the 4 best teams, but are they going to put Florida State in because they deserve to be in because of their record? We don't know. We got to wait and see on that one. But I think the biggest one that will stir up the biggest controversy in this scenario, if it plays out this way, let's say all the favorites win besides Georgia and Bama beats Georgia. Then who's in? If Bama goes out there and beats Georgia and the favorites win.
That's the shakiest one. That's the shakiest one right there. So I look at it this way. All the favorites win except for Georgia.
Yep.
Right? So Bama goes out there and beats Georgia. Does Bama make it in? I think that's the biggest question right there because they're making that jump all the way from
not making it in
to 4, huh?
Did you see him not making it in? Even if they beat Georgia back-to-back national champions?
All right, so boom. Because here's the thing. Do you keep Georgia out? Do you keep Georgia out? That's the big question. Do you, if they lose, is this game a win or lose, we're in? Or is it we lose, we're out, we win, we're in? That's the thing. That's the whole thing about it. That's why I said this is the biggest week for performance. You got to perform. Plain and simple. No matter if you win or not, you got to perform. So Alabama wins big, they make it in at 4. Alabama wins by more than 1 score, they make it in at 4. Georgia drops to 3. I got Michigan at 1.
You got to put Bama above Georgia because they just beat Georgia.
All right. So I'll reverse that. Georgia sits at 4. Bama makes it in at 3. At 2, I got Oregon. And then Michigan at 1.
What about Texas? Because now Texas beat Bama at Bama. Because we got
it's about how you win, bro. Texas got to win by more than double digits.
Don't we got to respect the head-to-head matchup? Or is it because it was week 2, it doesn't really matter? Because they're different now. But they did play head-to-head.
Nah, they play head-to-head. And Bama and Tuscaloosa.
And Texas won by double digits.
They did.
So do you leave them out?
Bro, Texas ain't play nobody else good, though, bro. That's the only part that kills me, bro, is that this is going to be their only good win other than Bama. I mean, at least Michigan has a Penn State on their resume. You know what I'm saying? At least Georgia has a Tennessee. They got a Tennessee, a Ole Miss,
Mizzou.
a Mizzou.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, they have a Tennessee, a Ole Miss, and a Mizzou on their resume. Or I mean, Bama's gonna have Georgia, Mizzou, Ole Miss,
LSU.
Does Georgia have LSU too?
No.
No, they didn't play.
I think
They didn't play.
Bama got to Kentucky, Tennessee, don't they? Then they beat
Bama does have Tennessee.
Mhm.
Bama does have Tennessee. So I'm saying if they win this, they are very deserving.
So I think
bro, Texas doesn't have the resume, bro. Win or loss, I just don't see them making it.
But
it got to be a couple losses in that top four for them to get in, bro. I don't think just one loss, no matter what team loses in that top four, I don't think Texas get in. It has to be two or more.
See, I think this is one of the hardest I've been going. I've been actually thinking about this one all day, right? So favorites win besides Georgia, meaning Bama wins, right? So let's get the easy one out the way. Michigan's at number one, easily. So then we got Oregon, who just beat Washington. So we got 2-12-1 teams there. Oregon avenged their loss. We got Texas, who beats Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, who's going to be 12-1 now, with the win over Georgia. I mean, over Bama, who just beat Georgia, who will also be 12-1, right? So that's clunky right there. And then you got Florida State, who still be undefeated. So it's like, and if I'm being honest, bro, I don't know how you leave Georgia. Like, I don't know how you leave Georgia out.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like,
because they've been undefeated for the past two. They've been undefeated, back-to-back champs.
So not even just that. So here's another thing you can look at Georgia on why you don't leave them out at all, whether they win or lose.
But it's not that. That's
look
not
at how they beat these ranked teams.
Yeah, no. But that's not my issue though. Now my issue falls on, okay, if Georgia, if you argue Georgia is the best 12-1 team and they deserve to be in, okay, cool. Now Bama deserves to be in, right? So now Bama deserves to be in. Now you have an undefeated Power 5 team with Florida State and the Texas team with the win over Alabama, who just beat Georgia.
Bro, this is gonna be the most controversial week ever, bro.
No, bro, I don't know.
Yo, bro, they might well extend the playoffs this year. Like, it's like teams heard, bro. It's like teams heard that rule got passed, and they was like, "Nah, bro, we all gotta make it." Like, everybody like is on that, bro.
It's a hard one.
12-team. Imagine if the 12-team playoff was this year,
bro. It would be crazy.
You know how that would be.
Listen. I gotta have my integrity, so I'm gonna give my pick. My picks would be it's gonna be Michigan, Texas, Bama, Georgia. Gotta go with Michigan, Texas, Bama, Georgia. I don't want to, but I got to.
You want to put Georgia and you want to put Texas in there so bad, bro.
I gotta respect the hit. That's why. That's the only reason why. We have to respect respect the games that's been played, bro. We got to.
They played a Bama team that, yeah, Bama does have some wins, but like we said, bro, we've been said this. The SEC is very underwhelming this year. They are, bro. But we know the committee is very SEC geared. So, yeah, a lot of SEC teams are still ranked. But if you look at it, not really. Not really right now, bro. End of the season, you got how many SEC teams that's ranked? Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, LSU, and that's it.
No, Tennessee is ranked.
Oh, Tennessee's at 21.
Mizzou's ranked, right? No, Mizzou's ranked.
Mizzou is ranked. I said Mizzou.
So you got Bama, Georgia, Mizzou, Ole Miss, LSU, and Tennessee.
And Tennessee shouldn't be ranked. So I don't even want to count them.
But hey, that's all we got for college football. Let us know who you think is in, who you think is out. Let us know based on the scenarios if all the favorites win and Georgia's the only one to lose, who's in, who's out, what should the committee do? I can't wait to see what happens this weekend. It's going to be big, big, big.
Huge.
Man, I hope some controversy happens just so you know that Sunday show is just that more impactful. But let us know in the
If y'all
comments.
think this is crazy, wait till bowl week.
Let us know who you got in the comments, man. But moving on to our last topic of the night, the NBA in-season tournament knockout round is here. We know who's in, we know who's out at this point. Hold on, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? I got it on my phone.
Lakers, Phoenix.
So the NBA in-season tournament is here. The knockout rounds are now set, and the matchups will be Bucks versus Knicks, Pacers versus Celtics out the East, and then out the West we got Lakers versus Suns and Kings versus Pelicans. Who we got? Who you think making it through this gauntlet? Who we got winning it?
You up?
All right, man. When you look at the matchups, it's like
go East first. Go East first.
I go East first.
And then I give my East. Then you go West.
All right, bet. I go East first. With the East, Bucks versus the Knicks. The Bucks haven't been what we thought they should be at this point, but they're still 12-5 at this point, I believe. They're still one of the better teams in the league. I think they beat the Knicks. The Knicks have been playing some solid basketball, but I just don't think they have just enough firepower at the end with Dame, Giannis, Middleton. Middleton starting to get some of his footing back. I think, the Bucks beat that one. And as far as the Pacers versus Celtics, give me the Celtics as well. Given a matchup against the Bucks and the Celtics, I think Tyrese Halliburton is very good. He's been playing some of his best basketball of his career, averaging a double-double, scoring, playmaking, doing whatever you got to do to, get that Indiana Pacers team to win some ball games. But I just think that Celtics team with Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Jaylen Brown, and them boys, they've been rolling. They have some hiccups here and there, but I think they get the job done. Set up a big matchup with the Bucks and the Celtics in the semifinals. Who you got? Who you got?
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you when it comes to the East, bro. I'm going with the Bucks in this. I think we tend to forget that
the Bucks.
What happened?
The Knicks fan is going with the Bucks.
Bro, I got to, man. This Knicks team, they 10-7, bro. They haven't been looking that good. I'm gonna be honest with you. Y'all know my top 5 pick and Julius Randle. No, I think I put him at number 6. I'm pretty sure I put him at 6. My guy Julius Randle has been one of the most inconsistent players that I've ever seen in NBA history. I swear to God, like it's looking bad at this point. Like, bro, I would need to see more out the Knicks, man. Yes, I'm a Knicks fan. That just happened. I'm letting y'all know this right now. That just happened because LeBron is getting to his end of his career, and I got to pick a team now, not a player. So I'm letting y'all know this right now that, yes, it's just happened, but I'm a diehard Knicks fan. So everybody blow the beef. But I got to go with the Bucks, bro. Like you said, the Bucks have been a little underwhelming, but they did lose D-Lib for a couple games. Y'all seen he didn't play. So that could be another reason why they looked kind of underwhelming. This is a new player still at the end of the day. He still has to come in and still get acclimated. It's not like we're halfway through the season. We're only not even a quarter through the season, right? Yeah, we're about a quarter through the season now. Just about. But again, it's still a team that's still good, bro. They're still good. They've won the last, freaking 8 of their last 9. So, I mean, they're still rolling, bro. And I honestly just see them rolling past the Knicks. I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah. And then in the West.
Oh, wait. I ain't get my bad. I ain't even talk about Boston versus
Oh, snap, I'm tweaking. All right, go ahead.
Who Boston playing?
The Pacers.
Oh, they playing the Pacers. And for Boston and the Pacers, I'm obviously gonna go with Boston. Pacers have been looking pretty decent this year. They don't look terrible. They're looking better than they looked in the last previous years. That's something good to say about their organization, at least. But like I said, Boston's one of my top favorites to go to the finals. So It just goes to show, man, that's still a good team. Even though Boston is they are really known for not having the best starts to years. They usually always kick up after All-Star weekend, and then that's when they get rolling. But they're not looking bad this year, bro. They're looking pretty damn good, and I mean, I see them just coming away with the dub.
Now on to the West matchups. We got the Lakers versus the Suns, and then the Pelicans versus the Kings. Lakers versus the Suns. I think that'd be a great matchup. Another KD LeBron. I don't know if KD is going to be healthier for that matchup. Hopefully it is. It'd be electric. But, D Book is very capable of holding it down. Bradley Beal, he hasn't really been playing too much at all. So I don't know about that one. But KD should be there for that one. He is playing. He did just play against the Raptors, so he should be there for that one. I'm going with the Suns. I think the Suns win it just because I can't bet on Anthony Davis. I can't bet that he's going to show up when it matters. I just don't know. You never know. If Anthony Davis show up, it might be another story. But I just don't know. We know what we're going to get from Bron. Bron's going to come out, show up. He's going to play. He's going to give you what he got. He's 39. He's still got to carry his team. But we talked about that a few podcasts ago. But I just think with the D-Book, the Kevin Durant matchup, I think their superstars outplay the Lakers superstars, and they pull out a win, and they'll be moving on. As far as, Pelicans versus Kings, give me the Kings. I got the Kings. Yeah, I like D Fox and Sabonis, man. That 1-2 combo is just they're I feel like they're underrated Jamal. They're a low budget Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. And that's no disrespect to them because they're still like that. They're still two all-star players. But Sabonis is not Jokic at the end of the day, but they're very good.
I was about to say, I don't know. That might have been a little bit too much of a reach.
Listen, I just think as a 1-2 combo, you think about Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, think, they play kind of the same game. Domantas Sabonis has the ball in his hands, not as much as Jokic. He doesn't have it as much as Jokic, but he does have the ball in his hand. He does create plays as well. De'Aaron Fox is electric, fastest player in the league. I feel like he can get to his spot anywhere on the floor to score the basketball. I think it'd be an amazing game. I just think they have a better team. I just don't know what I'm gonna get from the Pelicans on a given night. Sometimes with Zion, I don't know what I'm gonna get from him on a given night. The Pelicans, the team did just beat the Kings. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't know about Zion and Brandon Ingram. Sometimes they just don't seem to, always be there, be dominant as they could be. Give me the Kings and the Pelicans, even though the Pelicans have beat the Kings twice.
I'm gonna agree with that one. I'm gonna start with the Kings first. Because I'm gonna take the Kings in this. Like you just said, bro, the Zion is always a question mark. But when he plays good, he's playing great. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. He was in my top. He was number 2 for me for a reason. No, I'm pretty sure I had him at 3. I forgot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna start referencing my top 10 until I go look at him again. But Zion is still a dog, bro, but I just don't feel like they got it. Bro, we talked about it preseason, man. This Kings team is on the rise. They're very young, and they go out there and they put on a show. De'Aaron Fox, you know what he's gonna go out there and do. You already talked about it, so I don't really got to beat on that drum. I'm gonna just go with the Kings, and y'all gonna see exactly why. I'm gonna just put it that quick and easy. Now, Lakers Phoenix. Here's gonna be a game. And the only reason it's gonna be a game is because KD might not play. That's really it. I mean, if KD plays, we seen the way this Phoenix team looks with KD compared without him. Yes, you just said it. Devin Booker could hold it down by himself. He can hold it down by himself. Don't get me wrong. But when KD's on the court and you got your second 35 bucket a night player, yeah, that offense is electric, man. And they actually put up points. If KD doesn't play, I'm taking the Lakers.
Pelicans, Kings.
I said Kings first.
Oh shit, my bad.
That was the first one I said.
I'm choking. All right, that is our picks for the knockout round of this in-season tournament. Let us know who you got in the comments, who you got moving on to the next round with these matchups. I think there's some good matchups. I like that they got this going on. I think, you're playing for something early in the season. So we're gonna see what come out of it. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 33 of Before the Horn podcast. We appreciate everybody for watching and all the love that we've been getting. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast. Follow us on TikTok and Twitter at Before the Horn Pod. We got a lot of stuff coming out. Holiday season's right around the corner, so we've just been spending time with our families doing what we got to do. Day Juan's birthday coming up, so he's on vacation. He'll be back next Friday's episode. He won't be back for next Tuesday's episode, so he's gonna be out the next episode as well. But we gotta keep this thing rolling. We appreciate the love and support we've been getting. Dennis, let him know.
Yeah, man. So as y'all know, for as little as $2 a month, you can do your part in supporting us by joining our Patreon. Joining our Patreon helps us out tremendously. As y'all know, me and Khalil, we are not, rich YouTubers, man. We work regular 9 to 5s. Day, on the other hand, he might be a little rich. He on vacation and all that. No, I'm joking. But none of us are rich. None of us, have the money to just be doing that. Let me redo that. Nah, I'm joking. But like I said, we're just regular dudes, man. We work regular 9 to 5s, and we take out our time to come and bring out this content. So we really appreciate it if you guys come help us on our Patreon. On top of that, if you want to get personal with us, you want to talk to us more, Patreon is the best way to go. As well as when we drop some merch, which is dropping really soon, hats, t-shirts, other things, they will be available and for discount on our Patreon, and maybe a little bit of giveaway. So come help us out on our Patreon, man. But we really do appreciate all the support we get.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And be sure to follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram tags is on the screen. Make sure you keep showing love. We appreciate the support. Till next time.
Yes, sir.